Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Legion Outpost. Today, we're really just going to be talking to the people who may not play Legion and just thinking about joining to play Legion. But we're also going to talk a little bit to people who are playing a little bit, but maybe they should be playing more. The question today that I'm faced with is, should I play Legion? And the reality is, I think for most people, the answer could be yes, but it's a guaranteed yes if you like Star Wars. If you are a big Star Wars fan and you want to be more immersed in the universe, Legion is a great way to be involved and get more into Star Wars. Now, another answer is if you like board games and you like strategy and tabletop games, then yes, you should be playing Star Wars Legion. And there is great things about Star Wars Legion that you cannot deny. Like the models look wonderful. The feel for Star Wars is actually just great in Legion universe. And the game is fairly balanced. And right now we're coming to a place where we are getting some new resources and we're getting some new stuff. And so we're getting a whole new line, Shadow Collective, which is showing right there. But there is great core sets that started it all. The game was well thought of and well developed. It's like a lot of tabletop games, but the rules are simplified, easy to learn. I could teach anybody to play the game within 10 minutes, and it takes a little longer to master the game, but the core of the game is simple to pick up. The only downside to the game, and this is for those who maybe are thinking about playing a tabletop game like this, the only downside is the length of a game. But that can even be solved simply by deciding to, instead of playing the 800 points, going and playing a scrimmage game, which is 500 points. And if you're just starting out and you're buying a core set like that's right here, you're going to be closer to a 500 point army than you are a 800 point army. You've got about 300 points in a core set. And so when you're buying and getting into this game, some people think, well, maybe I shouldn't play because it's so expensive. You can get in fairly cheap if you pick the faction you want to get into. And I'll do a faction, how to start on the budget for each faction. But if you want to pick a faction you want to get into and split that core set with somebody else with the same faction, it's pretty cheap because then you can buy 2 core sets and have most of what you need to start your army, and then just buy a little here and there to add to your army. And I'm not going to go over everything you need to buy next, because the reality is that depends on what faction you're going to play. And I'd have to do that in a faction specific version of this, telling them what to buy. But I do always recommend, if you're starting, to start with 2 core sets. So an example, if you're starting now and you just want to play the new mercenary faction, and then you're going to buy 2 core sets, and it comes with everything you see in here, and you'll get double of it. There will be overlap. You won't need 2 Darth Mauls, but somebody who doesn't want to buy the extra, I don't know who wouldn't, but might want to just get Darth Maul, and you can trade them with that or whatever. Trade them for other pieces too, because lots of people have extra Lukes and extra Grievouses and extra Obi-Wans and extra Darth Vaders. Like I have 4 of each of those guys. So the reality is there's lots of people that are going to be having or wanting to trade or give some of those things away. Actually, I only have 3 of each now. But anyways, besides the point. So we got great new stuff coming, got great old stuff. Look at these models. Look at the way. Now, maybe you're sitting there and saying, maybe I don't want to get into this because I don't like painting. Well, part of the whole reason I got into it was because of the painting, because there's nothing like painting your own army the way you want it. And it doesn't have to look, you could just go gray, there's no rules saying you have to paint. But it does look a lot better painted. And I personally make sure everything I put out is painted before I do it. And I can't paint to this quality. Like, you look at some of these things and some of the people that painted things, and you're like, man, I'll never be able to paint like that. Well, you don't have to paint like that. You paint to a tabletop standard that you think, that you'll fit. Like, you can paint the way you want it. You don't have to make it, like an expert. You paint your best. And I'm going to tell you, I started so many new people and they just started painting a little bit. And maybe they just threw on white on the Stormtroopers. And with a little technique and a little things, they've come so far. And, they started with just, throwing white down. And now they got like some of the coolest painted things. And the reality is we really just have to, give it a try. The best thing you can do is find somebody who has the game, talk to somebody who has the game, and just say, hey, can I play with you? Because everybody who has the game usually has enough pieces so they could field 2 armies and get into a 500-point army, and the reality is this is the best time to get into the game. And the reason I say that is because you can pick up a few extra things from extra people if you just want to get in 500 point. They now have coming out in June an essential kit, so you can just buy the essential kit rather than buying a whole box set. And you can buy this box set right here, which will get you right into the game, and you won't even have to worry. You get a commander, you get a few other things. You actually get 3 commanders in this set. So there's so much. This is the time. And to be honest, I believe, this is my honest opinion, that the game is more balanced than it has ever been. And, some people might say, well, GAR's, overpriced and stuff. It's true. There are some pricing problems, but the game in itself, I think, is in a really healthy position. And so if you're new and you want to get into a game, and you thinking, well, is it a good time to get in? This is a great time to get in. This game is a great opportunity to have fun. It's a great opportunity to do some crafting. And if you're not into crafting, that's fine. You don't have to, but you can do so much with just the stuff that comes in the box. And so if you're brand new and you want to play Rebels, or you want to play Imperial, or you want to play GAR, or you want to play Separatists, the best thing to do is buy yourself one of the original core boxes and then just go buy an extra leader and you will be right there. Or even better, split a core box with somebody and buy 2, and then you got a full factions starting point, and you're not far off a full 800-point game, but you can definitely play a 500-point game. It is a great time, and there's lots of other things about this. There's the hobby behind it. They're not just a painting, but there's also like the building your terrain and different things. They even have official paints for it. They're from Army Painter. They're okay paint. I'm not going to say they're bad paint, but you need to make sure you have some mixing balls in them, but you can make terrain and have beautiful looking terrain, and it's just fun to live out the battles and live out the whole thing. I can't get over enough how good this game is, and to get in, it's not that expensive. It may seem big, and if you're like me and you buy everything and every faction, yes, it's going to cost you some money. But if you're just getting in to play one faction, or you can split a faction, or you're a father-son, me and my boys play. It's a great opportunity for father and son to get together and bond over a game, and maybe even get into the painting and stuff. And pretty much most of the iconic Star Wars people are in the game in some form. And so, you can really replay some of the battles, and be involved in all of that. So I just think it's a great time to get into the game. And every game has its wrinkles. Every game has its weaknesses. But I really think that Legion's in a good place. And if you're a father-son who likes Star Wars, this is a great way to spend some time with your son, painting and connecting and playing games together, and it's a great opportunity for you just to grow your relationship, and who doesn't want to grow the relationship with their kids? And maybe you're not father and son, maybe you're a boyfriend and girlfriend, you both like Star Wars. Well, this is a great game for you guys too. This game is great for almost anybody. And so I'm just going to say, get into the game. If you don't know how to play the game, it's fairly simple to learn. There's lots of videos to help you teach. I have some on my YouTube channel, but there are so many other things to help you. And yeah, get into the game. And if you have any questions or comments about the game, you know, throw them down in there, and I'd like to talk to you about them. Now, here's the other thing. There's great communities, and if you want to play because you want to play tournaments, there's tournaments. If you just want to play for casual and you know, goofball things, you can do that. It is a great game, you know, and the only recommendation I have is once you get into the game, look up Legion HQ as a list builder, because it really helps to have a list builder to build your list, because it just makes life a lot easier with all the points adjustments and everything, because they do all the work for you and they tell you what's going on and what's in. So there's great community helps. And so, yes, is this a game you should be playing? Yes, it is. Everybody should be playing Legion. Unless you hate Star Wars and you hate fun and you hate strategy. Then don't play. Because I don't need to be across the table at a tournament with somebody that's just a hater. Okay? But other than that, you should play. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is just a little weird video. But yeah. Thanks, guys.